all right? I know you did this.
I did not.
And I can understand the why behind it.
No, there is no why, because I didn't do it.
All the evidence doesn't lie.
No, I did not do it.
On July 18, 2018, police and EMS in Ohio were dispatched to a medical call involving an unresponsive person. Dispatch advised that a male resident of the home had been reported unresponsive by a third-party caller who was relaying the information on behalf of the female resident. The caller stated that the female resident, later identified as 46-year-old ER nurse Holli Osborn, was unwilling to attempt CPR or return to the room where the man was found. When officers arrived on the scene, they discovered the male resident, identified as 50-year-old Dr. Christopher Osborn, deceased with blood pooling around him and 2 firearms lying on the floor nearby. Holli Osborn was found sitting in the dining room, appearing as if she had just woken up. While speaking with Holli, officers observed concerning behavior. She was extremely lethargic, struggling to keep her eyes open, and slurred her speech to the point of being nearly incoherent. Her statements were contradictory, and she appeared unaware of the current time or day. Much of the conversation was disjointed and difficult to follow, raising further suspicion. Officers secured the scene as a potential crime scene and transported Holli Osborn to the police department for a formal interview to gather more information.
How you feeling, Holli?
Yeah, there.
You didn't eat much of that soup.
No.
You warm enough?
I'm freezing, but I'm okay at this.
Okay. It's like my wife, she's always got to have a blanket on her to keep warm. You got hot water? You want some coffee or anything?
I'm good.
Holli, when was the last time you slept?
To be honest with you, because I know I stayed at my parents on Friday night.
Okay.
So I slept there in my old room, and then I came home Saturday and talked to him. And
Okay. Did you sleep last night though?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't remember it. All I remember is shock when I opened up the bedroom door. So
Sure.
obviously I wasn't in there because I would have known something.
Right. Well, here, let me, because you're in here, because we brought you in here, you watch TV, right? You've seen the whole rights thing, and you know we got to go through this stuff, right? So you can read and write, speak English, right? I mean, you're a nurse, correct? Okay, so you've got college. I just have to make sure that you understand these. Okay. So you have to talk to the lawyer for questions. You have to have the questions. You have the right to have a question. If you're unable to give the lawyer authority, or before you find any question, you can decide. If you wish to answer questions out loud, you have the right to stop answering questions anytime. You also have the right to stop answering anytime you talk to the lawyer. You can read that, okay? Mm-hmm. You understand what all that means? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you understand these rights as I've read them to you? Mm-hmm. All right. So, obviously we need to talk about what's going on today. So, let's start with last night. All right, so you don't work normally? Sometimes you work, but not normally?
I just work for him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you work at the office yesterday?
No.
Okay. He worked a normal shift yesterday, and that's the office on Perimeter, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just on Wednesdays that he goes up to Marietta?
And Sundays.
Wednesday and Sunday? Ooh, he's busy. Does he do
He gets one day off.
Yeah, does he do a 12-hour day both times?
Yeah.
7 A to 7 P? Mm-hmm. What's he do for them?
He's ER physician.
Okay. And you're a nurse who used to work there, but you haven't in a while?
Once we moved here and stuff and we got married, I stopped and I started looking for stuff that fit our schedule better since he's always busy.
Sure.
So I was trying to figure out locum jobs, you know, that would be like, hey, you guys would be great if you could work Sunday and Wednesday when I do, even if you got back at Marietta. He's like, that way don't interfere with nothing. So otherwise, if I go full-time somewhere else, I'm like, now I'm back into every other weekend, every other holiday, and
Yeah.
he'll be off on them, and those are the only times he's ever off, so I'm like.
You guys always work crazy shifts.
Yeah, so I was like, we'll figure one out when the right one comes along.
Well, how long have you guys been together?
About 3 years.
Okay, when did you get married?
We got married September 11th.
Really?
Yeah,
What year?
2015.
15?
Nope, sorry, 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
2016.
And
Yeah.
how long had you been together before that?
Yeah, that was our year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Which explains why you got married on September 11th.
exactly.
Okay.
And everybody thought that's so weird, and I said, well, we're ER people, so it's 911.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And it was just randomly our first date, so we just kept everything 911.
Okay. No, makes sense. And you guys, where'd you meet at? At Mary Routine? Okay.
Just being friends at work for years.
How long had he worked up there?
Well, he was up there way before me. I want to say like he had been up there at least 6 probably years.
Okay. And did he do that for the whole time have his family practice down here and then have work the ER up there 2 days a week? Oof. That's a lot. That's a lot. How long have you lived in Dublin that whole time? Did you been married?
Moved to Dublin, where we're at, in June 2015, because we moved in together after we got engaged.
Okay.
And we looked at homes, and then we found that one, and we didn't want it to go away, so
Sure. Okay.
June.
So June of 15?
Yep. No, sorry, June of 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was before we got married.
Okay. So, last night, he comes home from work.
I wasn't there when he came home from work last
Okay.
night.
Where were you at?
Visiting my parents.
Okay. And they're up north somewhere, right?
Yeah, they're up by Bell Fountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time did you get home? Ish.
I had to guess maybe 8.
Okay, last evening? Okay, and why, were you visiting your parents for just a visit, or?
Well, I always go and visit them weekly,
Okay,
but normally still as a married couple will fight anyways, but we weren't verbally in a fight. I just went to visit my mom and dad and stayed.
okay, so you go to visit your parents when you and Chris aren't getting along, or?
Either or
Okay.
just visit them because I always see them,
Right.
any week.
But what was it yesterday? You and Chris weren't getting along, or you just went up to visit?
Yesterday I was with my mom and dad because I was upset that he made a phone call to a bartender or whatever in the middle of the night or something.
What was that out of?
Huh?
What was that out of?
I mean,
Why would he call a bartender?
because he was out with his buddies. I told him, I said, go ahead and go out with your friends.
Okay, when was that?
Thursday?
Of last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it was Thursday.
Who was his friend, do you know?
BJ and Lisa, or the friends, the couple that he went out with, they've known each other for a long time.
Okay.
I didn't want to go. So I said, go on, go have some fun. And then that night he never came home.
Okay.
And the reason why I knew it was a bartender because he told me. But and I remember calling him, asking him to come home. And then he never came home.
He never came home that night?
No, so when he did come home, that's when I left because I wasn't going to fight. I'm like, oh, because he wanted to kind of lay with me and stuff, and I'm like, no, I told you to come home last night. Why did you stay? And then, so that's why I went to my mom and dad's.
Okay. And how, did you stay up there for overnight or just?
And I was there overnight.
Okay, so that would have been what, Friday?
Sounds right, yep.
Friday night to Saturday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well, until Saturday, later in the evening, I guess.
okay. So, when did you see him next?
Then I remember Chris got me the 2 beers.
Where was that at?
He was complaining at the one place because he couldn't reach it, and they yelled at him. And so that was at Get-Go in Dublin. And then he refused to go back there, so then he went into the other one and then bought stuff in there. But he came out 2 bags, so I don't know what the other bag was.
Okay, what day was that?
That would have been Saturday.
Okay,
Wait. God, all of his days blend together because it's we constantly on the move. No, that had been last night, wouldn't it? I'm trying to remember if I'd seen scrubs on him or not.
if he works at the hospital, does he come home in scrubs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So I can't remember if he had scrubs on or not. So I can't really say if it was. Because today is already Tuesday, right?
today's Wednesday.
Wednesday now. So, really hard. I'm really trying to help you out here. I'm trying to think.
Sometimes days run together.
Especially when you don't work.
Yeah, when you don't have a schedule to maintain, then sometimes you lose track of it. Every time I go on vacation, I can't figure out what day of the week it is.
Yeah, so I'm trying to just figure out, like, what was he wearing when he went to buy me the beer? And then that will help me tell me what day it was.
Well, Sunday he would have worked all day, right? So.
Right. So he would have wore scrubs home Sunday.
Right, but after a 12-hour shift and then, what's it, about a 45-minute drive to Bell Fountain?
Mm-hmm. Roughly.
Are you guys going out to get beer or?
No. I'm trying to think what night you would have done that. I'm not really much help without my phone.
No, I understand.
My phone has every spot of our locations everywhere, and I can be like, oh, this is where we went here, this is where we went here.
Okay, well, let's go back to yesterday then. Maybe if you're a little closer, it's a little easier to remember. So, yesterday being Tuesday, he would have worked at the office, right?
Yesterday he actually had a golf tournament.
Okay.
Yesterday, all day.
So he didn't work.
And I was with my mom and dad that day too.
Okay.
Because sitting home himself.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I was there I stayed with my parents for that.
Okay.
So he was with golf people all day, and I'm not sure what time that was over.
Okay. But you went up to your mom's house?
Mm-hmm.
I had heard that you guys were planning something for today? With your daughter?
Oh yeah, I was going to go because he was going to be at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go to Cedar Point
Okay.
with her. She asked me to go to Cedar Point with her.
Okay.
And that was what I was going to do.
All right. And so you went up to your parents' house yesterday. Did you talk to your daughter there?
No, because she wanted me to be there, but I wanted to go ahead and come home.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Jordan, her boyfriend, because she was at work.
Okay. Where does she work at?
It's a family pizza place that she works for a friend.
Okay. So you didn't see her face to face yesterday?
I don't remember. Nope.
Okay.
No face to face.
Did you talk to her on the phone at all?
She kept calling me on the phone, yelling at me because of the Cedar Point thing.
Okay.
And she kept saying I was blowing her off about the Cedar Point thing. And then I got mad at her because I saw that she somehow withdrew the Cedar Point tickets out of my bank account.
Okay.
So I tried to call her, but I don't think she answered that one. that time. I might text her. I
Right,
might text her and been like, that's nice to know.
okay.
But
And
I think
then,
that's about the gist of that.
did you talk to her at all last night on the phone?
I don't know if it was last night. Well, if I was going to Cedar Point today, it'd been last night. Because
Okay.
she kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. I'm like, oh, seriously, it's about Cedar Point. Leave me alone right now. And then I did talk to her, but again, I didn't have my phone. Oh, my phone was dead. That's right. It wasn't charged no matter what.
Okay, and that was last night?
Yeah, yesterday and last night. I'm like, I keep getting it to like 7%, and I'm like, what's up with that? And I told Chris about it, and I sat there, and he goes, I'll plug yours in my car, and wait, and you can just use mine or whatever. So she kept blowing up his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because she wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we're just trying to talk right now, and we're sitting by the river.
Okay, where was that at?
We usually sit like along the river. I can't say where, it's like Dublin, across the bridge. And we usually find
Which bridge, just like the O'Shaughnessy Bridge? Up by the
I
zoo?
don't know
or-
which one they're called. So it's the river where, where it looks really cute and antique-y looking. It has like, on one side it has like square things, like look, you get married in it,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Do you go through like, do you go by some businesses on the way up to it?
I think what we do is we usually go, if I'm picturing it right, we go around the roundabout, where
Okay.
they built all those new overlooking the river,
Mm-hmm.
and we go down that way, and it gets a little curvy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a spot there that when we ride the motorcycle and stuff, we always stop.
Okay, were you riding on the motorcycle or were you in the car?
No, we went in the car that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you go kind of like where the golf course is?
I don't know if I went that far.
Right, do you go up through a little town up there, or is it before that?
I mean, it's gotta be before that, 'cause I don't remember another golf club other than the one I'm on.
No, this would be like where there's a big parking lot up there by the Bogey Inn, where we park people for the tournament, isn't that far up? Do you know what Bogey Inn is?
No, but I went to
It's like up by the zoo.
one of the tournaments 2 years ago, but
Doesn't seem like it's
I've
that
only been to
far
the
up.
zoo once, so
Okay.
I'm like, it's not that far, because otherwise I remember driving past it.
Well, the zoo's on the other side of the river. But you go by like a Wendy's and a drugstore on the right, and then there's a couple of restaurants, and it's only like 2 blocks long. But there's like a greenhouse on one side, and
Doesn't sound right.
doesn't sound right. Okay. So you guys went up there last night in the car
Yeah.
just to hang out by the river? What were you guys talking about?
Anything and everything, and he told me he was sorry he got this bartender's phone number, and then Courtney was calling, which was messing all that up. I'm like,
You guys are trying to talk,
and then,
and she's
yeah,
going up your
messing it
phone?
up, yes, and then we started getting ate up like by mosquitoes because it started getting dark and stuff. And then I remember he got more beer on the way back.
Okay. Had you had,
We had beer while we were there.
okay, how many do you think you had?
Well, he only bought the tall ones, so I don't know how, but
Or just like 2 of the singles?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like, another 8% per can, so I don't know if it's that equal to 2 beers or
Just depends on
doubles,
how
I
big they
have no
are.
idea. So, and then, on the way home, he stopped and went to the other gas station, because the other ones made him mad the first time. And then he went in the other gas station, and he got 2 more
Okay,
for us. And then, that was it.
okay. And then you
That's all I
guys,
remember.
then you guys went home?
Yep.
All right, do you have any idea about what time that was?
Oh, gosh. Maybe might have been 10 maybe.
Okay. What time would he usually go to bed if he had to be at Mary 10 and 7?
Oh, anywhere between 9 and 10,
Okay.
roughly.
Do you guys not usually sleep in the same room?
Oh, we do, but I want him to stay up that night because I still have my beer.
Okay.
So I was finishing my beer, but then, honest to God, from AV, from drinking the beer, I know I had to take my medicine, so I took my Valium, and I tried them to sleep. And honest to God, I'm like, I don't know if I slept. Did I fall asleep in the garage? Because I usually go out there because I don't smoke in the house.
Okay.
So I'll smoke out there, and if I'm still drinking the beer, then I'm just doing that. But then I'm
Does he smoke?
Occasional.
Okay.
No.
Is he like a drinker smoker?
Yeah, cocktail. Yeah.
Does he smoke your cigarettes?
No,
Oh, he gets his
he
own?
gets his own. He
Okay.
smokes reds.
What do you smoke, lights?
Marlboro menthols.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I didn't smoke them.
Yeah, he don't like menthol.
Yeah. So you took your meds last night, and do you know where you slept last night?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't even know if I slept at all. Like, because all I remember was walking into the bedroom and seeing him. And then I didn't want to touch him. I was really scared. So I tried to get his phone. I couldn't find mine. And so I couldn't get anything to work 911 for some reason. And I was over trying to find mine. And the best I could do was I called my dad then on my Alexa, and I said, Dad, you gotta call 911. And he said, I think Chris is dead. He goes, what? I said, just call 911. And so last thing I remember, other than you guys coming over after that.
Okay. Can you get some tissues?
Yep. Do you want some more water?
Please.
Okay.
Literally it makes me sick just to go out.
This thing, we have time, so I'll let you get a minute to kind of collect yourself.
I just can't stand it. The one bit image that I've seen there.
Tissues for you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Honestly, thinking there's I'm so much shocked that I'm numb
Right.
and I don't want to think about it right now.
I understand.
And I don't know if that's why I can't remember, because usually I don't have that kind of problem. So, not unless it's a lupus fog or something, but it wasn't that. No, not that. So I'm just like, I don't know where the gap is.
Right. There's
And
just.
I would actually know the way I'm going to know is like, did I go upstairs and it's Rachel's room? If it's undone, I went up there and slept. Because sometimes I'll go up there so that way I don't bother him if I can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a TV up there too, because the TV keeps him awake too.
Okay.
So, only way I would know is like probably like, oh well, if Rachel's bed's not made, that's probably where I was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then I just remember walking in there this morning.
There. So, you guys come home last night. You took your meds. Did Chris go to bed?
Yeah, he was already in bed.
Okay. You take your meds. What happens next?
And that's where I get fuzzy, because I don't know if I was looking for my phone or what, because that's all I kept thinking about was where the heck is my stupid phone at? And then next thing I remember, I went in, so I don't know if I slept in Rachel's room last night. If her bed's unmade, I probably did,
Okay.
because I usually make her bed.
So I used to smoke a long time ago. I know the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is go smoke a cigarette.
I did do that.
Okay, so where did that happen at?
Always garage.
Okay.
Most of the time, unless it's not too hot, I'll do back porch, but garage.
Okay, so this morning when you woke up, you remember going in the garage, smoke a cigarette?
I believe so, yep, because I always smoke my cigarette in the morning.
Do you remember what
I
happened
think-
right before then?
So you're trying to think. If I got up, smoked a cigarette.
I had a whole routine. I'd smoke a cigarette,
Yeah.
end up in the bathroom, and
Yeah, and then I'll go do that, but I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that he wasn't home because his car would be gone, because today's Wednesday. So that wasn't a shock to me, because I'd be smoking anyways, and my car's usually the only one in there, because he's always working.
right.
So, and then.
Which car does he drive?
He drives the Audi A7.
Okay. And was the Audi there this morning? In the garage?
I don't remember.
What car do you drive?
I drive the BMW one.
What kind of BMW is it?
It's oh my God, I can't think of my own car's name right now.
Is it like a sport utility vehicle or four-wheel drive or
It's all drive, but it's still
still a car, not
it's
a?
still sedan.
Okay. What color is it?
White.
Who drives a Mercedes?
My parents.
I'm sorry?
My parents.
Okay. But it's at your house? There's a white Mercedes sitting out in front of your
Oh, a
house.
white Mercedes? Oh, you're talking about on the corner?
Yeah, that's kind of parked in
That's Christopher, that's his son's car.
his son's car?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so you go out and smoke your cigarette this morning. Do you notice anything in the garage unusual?
Wasn't paying for any attention to anything. I sit down on the steps.
Just inside the door?
Mhm.
Or right by the door?
Like, yep, I'll sit down on the bottom step.
Whose car is usually parked right there?
Mine,
Okay, your car was there,
yeah.
right? Didn't,
And he pulled, I had mine outside. So the last thing I knew was he pulled my car in from the driveway and parked it. But, so when I'm sitting there smoking, all I stare at is my car,
right,
you know? So I didn't notice anything.
okay. So you're done smoking your cigarette, what happens next?
Walked into the bedroom,
Okay, why did you walk into the bedroom?
just to do, routine, shower, get ready.
Okay, that's where your clothes and stuff are? All right, and describe to me what you see.
All I saw was him laying in blankets,
Okay,
but I seen blood.
where was that blood at?
Not even sure where the blood was at. All I knew was that was my biggest fear. I knew it because I said, I just, maybe okay, and there's no move. So I ran to my phone, called 911.
Okay, did you try to wake him up at all?
No, I'm afraid to forget, hardly touch him. I was too terrified that I was right, which apparently I was.
Okay. So do you remember where you saw the blood?
It was around his pillow. I
Okay.
don't remember which side.
Did anything else in there stick out to you?
I didn't stand there to look.
Okay, so nothing
As
else.
soon as I seen that, I bolted and started trying to find phones.
Okay. Go ahead and take a minute. So then you came out of the room and couldn't find a phone.
Couldn't find a phone anywhere.
All right. Did you find his phone?
I did, but I don't remember where it was laying.
And can you ordinarily get into his phone?
Oh, yeah. He has my passcode, I have his.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? You weren't able to get it?
No, like either I was being so frantic and I couldn't figure out it, because his looks different than mine, because, like Androids, you can change the layout. So his was all different, and I was like, how do I get, so I kept pressing the call button, but every time I tried to put in the 911, like it didn't come, and I even tried to have, it has Bixby on there too.
Mm-hmm.
I even just yelled at her going, hey Bixby, call 911, and then I couldn't get her to come up. So then, and I had no idea where my phone was. So I just knew the only way I could get to him, and I ran over to my Alexa show, and so I could picture, and I said,
Mhm.
and I told him, call 911.
And did
And
that work?
I didn't go back. He called 911 on his phone while I was on the phone.
Okay, so who'd you end up calling?
My father.
Okay. And then he called 911?
Yep, right, when I was on the phone.
Okay.
Because they were trying to ask some questions and stuff, and they wanted to know if he was cold and all like that. I didn't touch him. Like, I don't know. So, kind of like helps come in, and I'm like, okay. And I never went back in. I sat in that chair, basically.
Okay, in that front room?
Yeah, that's where I think you guys had me sit.
Right. Well,
That.
before the police got there.
Before the police got there, I was probably either sitting at the kitchen table or the two little bar stools. Or I don't think I was smoking a cigarette. I think I was waiting because you guys were there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the police show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do me a favor, take a look at your right wrist right here. Your other wrist.
The right one? Oh, it banged into something.
Where'd that come from?
It's hard to say. I am the most accident-prone person in the world.
Okay.
Where'd
those come from?
Half the time, I don't even know. I could bump into stuff and it don't even hurt. And I could be at work and then I'll have spots and bruises. Look, see? I always have, so I started taking vitamin K. So see, I always have, how did that one hurts.
I would think.
I don't know how that one happened. That one looks new. So, it's hard to say. Now I'm concerned about where that's and everything else hurts. And I got more. You can see them.
Yep.
But they're all different levels. It's like they never want to go away. They just bump and get nasty things. I never really know where they come from.
Well, the one on your wrist,
Yeah.
there's some scraping there that.
I could have been walking in, door frame. It's hard to say.
How are things going between you and Chris?
90% of the time, fantastic. You know, then you got other 10% that's just, he has so much stress. And so we would argue over the dumbest things. And remember, we'd argue over the dumbest things. But I always used to get upset because, like, even if it was the dumb things, he'd always want to, like, I don't know if he did it on purpose or what, but he would just say dumb things like, oh, maybe you'll get a better husband or whatever. And I'm like, nice that you say that. I'm like, just because we're having a stupid fight, I need a new husband or a boyfriend, or that's a normal marriage fights. But he always acted like it was going to be the end of the world for every little thing. It was weird. But they were always had to tell him this is what normal couples don't get along all the time. You know, I said, my mom loves my dad, but she'll call him an ass.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be like, don't be an ass right now. But if I tell him that, it's rude. You know,
So
or disrespectful.
Had that been escalating lately?
His temperament, yes.
So things were getting a little more difficult?
I'd say so. I'd agree with that, but it's such a roller coaster. The next week could be fine, you know?
Is that sometimes why you wouldn't sleep in the same bed?
Mm-hmm.
Just easier to go off to your own rooms and,
Sometimes it was because I know the TV thing, and if I can't sleep, because I have lupus, so I don't feel good a lot, so I'll toss, turn, TV's too loud and all that, so I'll go down there, and so it's basically kind of like 50-50. So sometimes I would go stay because of that reason, or just because I'm like, I want to go to bed and argue with you, so I go another place to sleep.
where else do you sleep in the house?
Anywhere, everywhere, pretty much. I don't really sleep on the couch much anymore because it's too painful.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Rachel's not there, I sleep in her bed, or I'll sleep in my daughter's bed, which is right across the hall.
Okay, what's your daughter's name?
Courtney.
Okay. Lately, have you been sleeping more away than in the master bedroom?
I'd probably say yes.
The whole
Just-
bartender thing probably didn't help any.
Yeah, it didn't help. So I did sleep that night. I went to my mom and dad's and slept because I originally told him, I'm like, I want you to move out, you know.
And that was during the argument last week.
And then I told him I want a divorce, and then he tried to say, you know, like, no, and try to comfort me, and I just said, you either go somewhere or I'm going to mom and dad's. And until you cool off and let people just let whatever happens soak in instead of the heat of the moment kind of thing. And then I went to my mom and dad's, and then came home the other night.
How have things been since then?
Since I came home,
Mm-hmm.
they were fine. We were talking through it.
Is that why you guys went out yesterday, was to talk through some things?
So, yep, and we sat by the river. And he didn't want to sit in our good spot. So we sat next to it. Because he didn't want, like, our spot tainted with an argument or anything. So we sat by the river on the other spot.
So you guys were having a little disagreement then last night?
No.
Well, if you
It was more-
don't want to sit in his spot and take it.
Well, I said I wanted to go talk and have a relaxing environment. I said, so why don't we go to our spot? And he goes, well, I don't want to, but he did that when I met him too. Like when I very first met him, he was mad at me for something. And he goes, be quiet right now. And he said, come in here. Which we never go there. It was just one of his daughter's rooms, you know. But they didn't live there, so it's just empty. And I'm like, why are we in here? And he goes, because I'm not letting the rest of the house be tainted.
So you didn't,
He
he
didn't,
didn't
he
air
associated
dirty laundry with,
the whole house.
okay.
Yeah,
Is that the way you are too?
no, I don't,
You don't care?
no, it's just, it's a home. You're not going to ruin your house because you argued in it.
Right.
It's weird to lock yourself in the closet to do it. You know what I mean?
Did your arguments ever get to the point where either one of you were pushing or laying hands on each other?
Mm-mm,
Never?
mm-mm.
Because you know, I've talked to other people, and I know you came from an abusive relationship previously.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The only time I ever touched him was when I slapped his face when I found out he cheated on me. Like, that was before we got married.
okay.
And that was face slap.
Since then, it's never,
Never touched him.
okay. Has he ever touched you?
Mm-mm.
None of those bruises on you are from altercations or pushes or shoves?
They're more from, like, Well, they'll know it because it's all in the house. So, a lot of times he was more of the domineering, you might say. But, I will just put it this way, 50 Shades of Grey, but worse. So,
Okay, so they were consensual.
yes.
Okay. So just rough sex.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that was okay with you.
As long as it didn't get too hard, yep.
Okay, so some of those marks are probably from that.
Very possible.
Okay.
Yep.
Are any of those marks come from a position of anger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, none.
Mm-mm.
Because, I mean, if there was a danger, that danger's over now, so,
No.
you know.
Mm-mm. No, it was always something else. And then even if he saw it the next morning, he would say, oops, he goes, sorry about that, I did it a little too hard. And I was like, yeah, you think, because, you know, they're paddles and whips and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, and all the lupus probably makes you bruise pretty easy.
Yeah. It's like bruised like a peach.
Okay. Did you have a room that happened in, or?
That was always a bedroom.
Okay. But it was always.
Randomly, it was in the kitchen, but
Okay.
almost 99% of the time in the bedroom.
All right. Did anybody ever get restrained?
He restrained me.
Okay. Did you ever restrain him?
Not that I recall of. Mm-mm.
Not that you can remember?
Mm-mm. Only thing I ever did to him was, I'm gonna say here, I wanna say a silk blindfold.
But nothing where you would have been
No bounds.
arms or legs or anything like that?
No, that was me.
Okay.
Or to me.
Right. And it was always with your approval and permission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you're not going to surprise me.
Well,
I hope not.
Well, you know, you have your moments where you say, you know, like, it's hurting, taking it off now.
Right.
And
But
you don't listen right away.
You had a safe word and
I never had one, should've. But, no, like, he just wouldn't let it go right away.
okay. With this mark,
He would say stuff like, I'll let it go when I feel like letting it go,
okay.
kind of thing.
Would this mark on your wrist have been from that?
Possible.
When would have been the last time that you guys engaged in that practice?
I want to say Saturday night. We had a cookout.
What, you in the doghouse Saturday night?
Saturday night, I decided to forgive him and let it go.
Okay.
And had my cousin come over. We had fun. We jumped in the pond and all that stuff. And we were good. Chris was out there with us, and my cousin was like, "You guys are gonna have an
You
argument."
were swimming in the pond behind your house?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it stunk bad.
I was gonna say, the homeowners association's okay with that?
Probably not.
Okay.
So I was like, it's hard to say. I was like, maybe that knee one came from something in that, because we sunk like in 3 feet of muck, so.
Okay. So all those, I guess, tools and stuff down there are, I mean, I wasn't the officer that searched the house, so, but I'm sure they were out and obvious and everything.
They would be, most everything he would have would be by the nightstand,
Okay.
or in the nightstand.
Okay. What else would be in the nightstand?
Let's see. He kept guns in his nightstand.
Guns plural?
Yeah, and I kept, I actually liked, when I was at my dad's months ago, I let him have mine to keep at the house, because you can't really shoot there. You know, like, it's like, so we like target practice or whatever, so we
Mhm.
always did it at my mom and dad's. So, that's the only thing I can think of, and the rest of it's all sex stuff.
What kind of gun did you have?
Let's see, I had a 357. I think my dad has that. I got a 12 gauge shotgun. My dad has that. what else? I think he had my first 380. That's my first one, because it's the baby shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't kick so much
Easy
when
learning
you try to
game.
shoot a pumpkin or something.
Yep.
And then, what was the last one? Oh, my dad got me it's like a Derringer, but longer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not like your little snub-nosy.
Right.
So I don't know what those are called, they're longer.
Right, but it breech open instead of doesn't have a cylinder.
Right.
Okay. So, here's the thing. So Chris had been shot.
So much shooting. I don't know where the hell I was that I couldn't hear it. Was I outside? Was I on the back patio? What? I don't know right now. Why didn't somebody hear it? Even if it wasn't me, maybe if I was on the back patio, maybe not. But the neighbors?
Well, see, that's kind of what I need you to really search in your mind as to what happened.
But I'm like, how can a neighbor? We literally live like this even. So why would nobody do anything if they heard something? I don't understand.
That's why I need you to help me.
I'm
No, I understand.
trying, I don't know.
Okay.
Because I would think that, in like small neighborhood, but then I'm like, where the hell was I? I was like, I need to figure out what I was doing. Was I walking? Was I outside in the garage smoking? I didn't see anybody,
Right.
but that doesn't mean anything. I guess I just trying to concentrate where I was, and I was laying downstairs watching a movie.
Well, here, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you a break, because I know you're upset. So, we're gonna step out for a few minutes, let you, be with your thoughts for a minute, all right, and kind of get it together, and then I'll come back in here and we'll talk some more, okay?
Okay.
All right, you feeling okay?
I don't think I want to answer any more without a lawyer. Simply because I can't sit here and guess at answers. It's not going to be beneficial to any of us.
Well, I'm just asking you about what you do remember. I don't want you to make stuff up.
No, I know. When you're like, do you remember what this time was or this time? I'm like, really? I'm trying to think about it really hard right now, but I don't want to give you an answer that I'm like, oh, well, no, not in the right day. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. What I'm trying to do is just, I'm trying to kind of walk you back through what you do remember to see if maybe you get closer to, maybe one of those things spurs another memory for you.
You called this morning to get him help. We want to try and get this to where we can help and figure out what happened here. So you're our biggest key in helping this out.
I don't know. I called. It was very too late.
Well, you're our biggest aid right now to helping figure this out. So we could really use your help.
really trying to get to you. I mean, I showed me their head. Some valuables in my purse. My dad didn't hear anything. I don't remember seeing anything. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
Yeah, all we're trying to do is try to figure out, because sometimes what I can do is take you to like the edge of a memory and that triggers a new memory.
Right.
So,
The sad thing is, usually what happens is, I always have to walk around to go, like, if you forget something when you went into another room, I always have to go back to the spot that I thought about it, and then you're gonna be like, okay, that's what I was going in there for. I mean, but I don't want to go back in the house to even talk it.
right. I mean, I understand that. But, you know, we weren't there, so that's what we're trying to figure out. You know, what did happen? Because it's, you know, this is a you know, tragic thing for someone you love,
Very.
you know, to have happened, so.
Not like we fought any more than normal.
Right.
I don't.
Oh, I get it. I've been married a long time. Parent, you know, me and my wife.
I get it.
Every couple does that.
So there's nothing abnormal there.
So I did hear a weird thing today that I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
We were told that when you saw Lauren the last time, that you hugged her
I
and
did.
said something to the effect of, "I want to say goodbye in case you never see me again."
Well, that's because in case I decided to divorce, but what I did say was, take care of your dad for me.
Okay.
And I gave her a hug, and she's like, I will. That was it. I didn't
So-
see Rachel, so I couldn't. I said, give Rachel a hug for me too, because I didn't know where she was in the house.
And that was last night before you guys went out to your spot, or I guess next to your spot.
Yeah.
So was that something that was kind of on your
That was
mind and
more
his
like-
mind, or?
No, I was like, I just wanted to talk and just had, you know, normal emotions. Don't bottle them all up and
Sure.
be a nice setting and just sit and talk. But yeah, I did tell her just in case, you know, because you never know. We could have had a talk and we could have been like, we're going to be done.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, but
whatever.
sounds
so-
like things are kind of worse than usual this time around.
What?
You and Chris's relationship.
No, I think it was worse when it started. Like now, I mean,
Well, but have you ever talked about divorce before?
no.
So I mean,
That's only because I was like, I wanted to let him know, like, this time I'm serious, you can't just keep doing these things,
right.
you know, and treating people this way. And he even said he didn't want one, but then, you know, I went ahead and went to my mom and dad's and stayed there and,
Gave him time to think about it. and-
yeah, and then when I came back, I wanted to talk. And then we had a good talk. But yeah, I did give Lauren a hug, and I did tell her before we left, goodbye, just in case, because I'll be going back to my mom and dad's, you know.
Right, but you ended up staying at the house last night. Is
Yeah.
that because of your guys' talk?
Yeah, because our talk was fine.
Okay, where did that end at?
Before we went to bed, after we bought some more beer.
Right, but I mean, where did the relationship end at the end of your talk?
Oh, we both talked about how, mostly he talked about how he needs to learn to build trust, and that it was just a stupid thing, there's no excuse for it, and he just giving me all that, and I was like, yeah, you're right, there isn't. I said, just reverse it and see how you'd feel. I'm like, that hurt pretty bad, you know, but, you know, so we had a good talk, everything was fine. And when it started getting a little late and we started getting eaten up by bugs, I said, it's time for you to go to bed anyways because you gotta go to work in the morning.
Right. Would there be any reason that anybody else would be upset with Chris?
Nobody I would know of. Everybody adores him that I know of.
No strange phone calls or?
Well, his phone calls you can't judge because he has patients 24/7 as well, so.
He gives them their cell phone?
Yeah, he's like a concierge doctor,
Okay.
so.
Like a personal doctor
Yeah,
for
so we
people?
can call him 24/7 and all that, so I would never know if there's an out of ordinary
Okay.
phone number or anything, because there's so many of them.
Would he be upset after
Except for the
those
bartender
phone
one,
calls?
I knew that one, that one's good.
Right.
I stuck out because I just got off the phone with him, and then I was like, wait a minute, 2 minutes after he like gets off the phone with me, I'm like, he texts somebody and sent a picture, but yet he's with his friends. I'm like,
Do those come to your phone, or are you looking at his phone?
I know it goes on, I have that Verizon Family Hub or whatever.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it shows me and my daughter and him and stuff like that.
But do you get his text messages?
No,
Okay.
uh-uh.
So how
The
do
activity.
I got it from when I got, yeah, just so I can tell it's just that, I knew it was out of the norm.
Okay.
When it popped up, because I was like, oh wait, I just talked to him. And, but like, he pretty much keeps his phone all the time on him.
how did you find out about the phone call and the text to the waiter or waitress?
Oh, he actually told me.
Oh, did he show it to you?
No,
Or did you go
no, I didn't look. I asked him to show me, and he goes, I've already deleted it. And I said, well, who are you texting? And then he told me, and I was like, well, at least you were honest about it. And, you know, yada yada. So, no, I wanted to, since he said he deleted it, I wanted to know how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, all I had to do was contact that number. And I told her who I was. And I was very cordial to her. And she said, one, I didn't know he was married, and he was with another couple, which I knew he was.
Mm-hmm. That was his friend and
His
their
wife. And he got the phone number from her, and she goes, but as one, you can see I didn't know he was married, and two, she goes, something like she didn't reciprocate the response.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she said a screenshot. I asked her, I said, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, so she sent you the picture.
She sent me a screenshot of what he wrote, because since he deleted it, I wanted to see how
Right.
bad it was for myself. And then she goes, I don't remember his name, but is this it? You know, and then, so she sent it, and I knew it was him. I was like,
Did you see
okay.
the picture?
Yeah, it's just a tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Did he have any tattoos?
no, we seen him getting one.
Okay. With the old, what do you think about this picture?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
And then, so that's the only way I knew that, was just because I was like, you know what, I just, since he said he deleted it, he told me what it was about, basically. So I was like,
Did it
well,
match what he said?
yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
So he knew it was
So
caught.
that, yeah, and the nice thing is, I'm like, at least he was honest with me this time. He could have lied and said, one of my patients called me or sent me whatever or something, but
So that Verizon hub, for you to find that, you go online to look at that and see
you
what
can
the
either
activity
do
is?
it on your phone, or they send it to your email automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Any activity.
Yeah, like for the whole week and
Okay.
stuff. It'll send them random times, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
When,
it's like Family Hub or,
right, but did he come clean about it, or did you go, hey, what's going on? Did he bring it to you, or did you bring it to him?
no, I asked him. I said, one, why didn't you come home last night? And I said, and two, who did you text and send a picture message to? Because that's all it shows. It's just a number and a little bubble in the
Mhm.
picture. And then when I asked him, he told me.
Okay.
And he goes, I was really stupid and really drunk and yada yada yada. And I said, okay. So I just wanted to make sure it matched, and it did.
And he never had, other than the time before you guys got married, he never wandered, did he? Or has he?
Except for when I was in the hospital and I spent over $2,000 at a strip club. And
Okay.
it was bad. But I didn't know about it because I was in the hospital, so. But as far as anything else, I don't know.
Okay. Nothing that you're aware of?
I was just going to decide to go ahead, and I was thinking about moving back in with my parents, because I was like, I don't really want all these messages anymore. Like the worry and the texting and
Makes
Well,
sense.
the wondering.
the wondering.
whether- Sure.
Yeah, I said, but that's it. But we still had a good talk.
Okay, so you guys left each other last night in a fairly good place.
Mhm.
Had you agreed that you weren't gonna get a divorce, or did that even really come up, or?
We're gonna work on not getting a divorce.
Okay,
And counseling and stuff, he said, and all that stuff, and I said, okay.
have you ever done that before?
No marriage counseling.
Okay.
No. So, went to bed on a good note, so I don't know what happened.
All right, but you're still not sure where you slept last night?
No, not right now, I don't.
It's not coming back to you?
Mm-mm. That's why I said I'm afraid that I have to see the spot where I was, or
Or to,
trigger,
right?
but I don't wanna go in, so.
Do any of your medicines cause you to have reactions like that when you don't remember periods of time?
Oh yeah, Valium will do it, Ambien does it to me, and, definitely have alcohol with any of those,
Right.
which I did, but I think those were about the only ones.
Have you ever had any instances where you've like woke up in the middle of the night and he found you in the kitchen cooking or anything like that?
Nope, never had one of those Ambien weird things.
Okay. This morning you said you smoked a cigarette in the garage, and then that's when why did you go in that bedroom? Just to?
It's like my normal routine. I'll try to smoke, get a cup of coffee, and then go to the bedroom, get ready, take a shower.
You guys have like a digital key pad to get into the bedroom?
Uh-huh.
Why is that?
So my daughter takes all of my stuff.
Oh. Well, she's a daughter.
Yeah, I'll be missing all my shoes and my purses and everything, so yeah.
And she hadn't lived there in a while, right?
But she'd still show up and take them
Oh,
because
really?
she's got me on location, see. She'll be like, ooh, Mom's not home. I'm gonna go get my shoes.
Pop in there and
Yeah,
borrow.
yeah.
They like to borrow, others like to borrow.
Or yeah, or the next thing you know, it's like, where did all my laundry stuff go? And I'm like, we really gotta change these locks.
Yeah, that sounds like a daughter.
Yeah.
Sounds like a daughter, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Fine.
It wasn't locked last night though. Or was it locked this morning when you went in? Did you have to key punch into the door?
No, it was cracked.
Okay. You guys don't usually lock it when the kids aren't home?
He has a pretty good habit of locking it all the time. Now, I won't if I'm out walking around and we're awake, because it's a pain in the butt to keep doing it. But, yeah, no, I didn't. No, because I remember I just pushed the door open.
Okay. And as you go into the room, you see him on the bed. What made you think he was gone?
One, it was too late, time frame. And then I saw a little bit of blood somewhere on the pillows.
Okay, but
And I said, hey baby, and then I was I didn't know answer, and I was too afraid to touch him. I'm gonna shake him, and then because I already seen what was by his pillow, like speckles of, and I seen that. I mean, I didn't see his face really even. I just saw like pieces of like, and he was just laying there, not moving. And then I freaked out and tried to get his phone calling and tell him couldn't call mine. But at least thank God for Alexa, I called Dad.
okay. So let me just, I'm gonna just put this out there because it's kind of bugging me. You're a nurse who's worked in the ER for a good period of time. Someone you love dearly is potentially injured or in your mind deceased. And you didn't go over there to shake him or touch him or?
That was the whole different mode between home life and ER, you know?
Well, I know for me, it's, if
Like,
I go into cop mode if something happens, even if I'm not working.
Maybe, but you wanna, if you felt like I felt it. I knew something was up. And then I seen the blood, and then I just knew. Number one, call 911. But then, I don't even think, unless it happened right in front of me, you know? Like,
Yeah,
let's
but-
say that my daughter started choking or something like that. But like, if I thought she did something to herself, or something happened really bad to her, I really would, I can't look.
Well, but
I don't
you're-
think I can be one of those ones that, you know, people have to have closure and go see, because I think that's just,
Right, but I mean, you've seen dead people before.
Oh, yeah.
In the ER.
but I've never had to deal with it, like, personally myself.
Right,
Like-
but it's, so the part I'm having troubles with is you're trained to help people who have been injured.
Mhm.
But you automatically went right for, I
911.
think he's dead.
I went for 911, exactly what I should have done.
Well, but you never went back in the room.
No, I was too busy listening to them, they were on, we were doing the messaging thing, and then you guys were there in like less than 5 minutes.
Right, but this is the man you love and you're married to him, right?
Yeah,
And
love my life.
you're the trained medical professional who could render aid if there was aid to be rendered,
I understand what you're saying.
right?
But
And
people
that's,
freeze, and I froze. And right
Well,
now,
but you-
I'm still numb.
you went automatically to he's dead.
No, I said I think he is.
Okay, but
I wasn't sure, but that's why I did 911 right away. But I had a really bad feeling, because when he didn't answer me and he wasn't at work, I knew, and I wouldn't be able to see anything. Like, I was afraid to even touch him because of cold or any of that. I literally went into panic mode, which usually I don't, but then again, I've never had to deal with like death really of my own family or anybody I love.
Well, that's kind of what your daughter was telling me, is that you guys really haven't had anybody pass away
Mm-mm,
that's close to you,
mm-mm.
and I get that. But so here's where I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this. You have a gap in your memory that's pretty significant. All right.
Welcome back, hopefully.
Right. And then there's gunshots in your house that you don't wake up to. And then,
I don't know how anybody else didn't hear anything either. Neighbors, we can literally like throw a stone next door.
right, but you didn't hear them.
No.
You were somewhere in the house.
Well, yeah, but
You're the closest
I
one to
could've-
them, right?
I could have, yeah. But I could have already been sleeping. 'Cause I already took a Valium.
Well, but if,
These are all speculations, and now you're
Right.
just,
Well,
can't give you an answer.
right, well, and
I
that's,
don't know, and you're telling me I should have done something.
no,
different.
what I'm telling you is, this is where I have a gap, and I'm trying to fill that gap in,
Well, if I can fill it in, I'll fill it in.
okay?
But-
And that's,
That's all I know. All I know is if I take sleeping medicine, I go to sleep. So that's apparently my only flaw.
no, I'm not saying this is a flaw, I'm just trying to, if you're taking Valium, would that wake you up? If a loud noise happened in the house?
No, not if I had a couple beers and my Valium. No.
How often does that happen?
Like somebody would have to like, sometimes even my daughter can shake me and she can't wake me up. So,
Is that frequently or once a week?
I'm not quite even sure if it's gonna be once a week or not. Well, if I go to sleep, and nobody needs me, and don't try to wake me up, then it would be a normal sleep.
But you don't take the Valium every night, right?
Sometimes I have to take Valium, Phenergan, and my trazodone. Excuse me, and I know none of it's supposed to be with alcohol, but And all three of those are sedatives. Because I have insomnia and I have trouble sleeping, and Dr. M knows that. And
Dr. M is his partner, right? Chris's partner? Is he the one that prescribes that for you?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you routinely take those every night, or is it just occasionally?
No, I take them every night, pretty much.
Okay, the Valium and the Trazodone?
Well, sometimes I even try to mix it up. If one's not working, I'll go take something else, and then, he gave me another sleeping one, but I didn't like it because it gave me nightmares. Like Tylenol or something like that.
Okay.
I didn't like it because it was like gave you crazy dreams, like your weird
The
dreams.
prednisone doesn't give you crazy dreams?
I don't take prednisone at night.
Okay. You just take it in the morning?
Because
Yeah.
otherwise I won't be able to sleep either.
That's the only injectable that you take? Or do you take other injectables?
Yeah, I got Finnegan
Okay.
and
The Phenergan's an injectable?
and Toradol, and I also have the pill versions.
Okay. Did you
But not
take,
Toradol.
did the Toradol's an injectable or not an injectable?
The Toradol is injectable
Okay. Why did they give you injectables instead of oral pills?
because it works faster and stronger.
Right, but
So-
then, does he just, because you're a nurse, you can do
Yeah, I
the
can do
shots
my shot
easier?
myself
Okay,
and stuff, and then it don't take so long. Sometimes, like if I'm having lupus flare up, and it takes like over an hour for the pill to kick in. He's watching me roll around and in pain and everything when he can give me a shot, or I give myself a shot, and like
Chris sometimes gives you a shot?
all the time, and then
Okay.
I'll be out in like 15 minutes, and then start feeling better.
Right. Do any of those shots, they're all intermuscular, right? Or any of them intravenous?
Mm-mm.
Okay, they're all AMs?
We've done a couple IVs at home when I've gotten sick and I couldn't eat or drink, so he was like, you need some fluids, but
But he'll start a line for that, right?
yeah, I had to help him. I just showed him how
Well,
to
that's
do
because
it.
doctors never start
They don't,
lines.
yeah, they
Right.
don't start them, so, and then like I would have him give me like, still the same medicine though, still.
They just go through the
Yeah,
port.
mhm.
Okay,
You just can't use as much of it.
right, right. I mean, we're gonna get right down to some nitty-gritty facts here, all right? That test that we did on your hands this morning, that's for gunshot residue.
I know you guys told me.
Okay. Is there any reason that you'd have gunshot residue on your hands?
Only if I fired the gun Saturday with my cousin, but I can't remember that.
You've washed your hands
Right.
since then? You've washed your
Oh.
hands since then?
I would hope.
Okay.
Other
So-
than that,
There shouldn't be any on there from this morning.
I think of.
Okay. There was a gun that was found there that's a Smith & Wesson 38, like an air weight. Do you know what that is? It's a gun that doesn't have a hammer on it.
Oh, so you're saying it's like the one you said looked like brush?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit.
that's Chris's.
Okay. That had 3 rounds expelled out of it this morning.
Everybody we know that knows we have guns is nobody that we wouldn't trust. And then, why wouldn't they steal something if that's what they wanted?
Right. So here's where I'm trying to come around to. If there's a reason that you're going to have gunshot residue on you, all right, you know, because if it's there, we're going to find it, all right? If there's a reason that you need to tell me that something else happened today, I need to know that reason, all right? Because as it stands right now, this is a very suspicious death.
I'm sure
And
it is,
I know you guys are having trouble.
but it's not like I'm on anything either. It's not like I'm not beneficiary of anything I know about, or so.
Yeah, but
I have no idea.
he's done some pretty crappy things to you lately.
A lot of people get crappy things that don't cause you to kill nobody.
I don't disagree with you.
No.
All right, but that's obviously, as a person sitting in my world, that's a concern.
I understand that.
I mean, people can understand if, you know, when people get upset and hurt over all this stuff going on. I mean, that's natural, that's human.
Yeah,
You know, and to have stuff get to you out of all this is human and normal.
right. I understand that.
And sometimes being very upset and emotional, combined with alcohol and you know, sleeping medication.
Anytime I've ever done anything, it depresses myself, not anybody else. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, I am not happy, and I don't know what to do about it, and I would rather die than live when I drink too much.
Right. And that's
It's never projected
to somebody
to
else.
somebody else.
You know, I'm a little concerned about the marks on you. And you know, you've told me about that, but, you know, sometimes people hide things, you know, either through embarrassment or through whatever, you know, their own personal reasons. Right? And these are concerns for me, that there are things that I can understand. You know, what would take a person to a point where they've had enough. Right? And I don't know whether we're, you know, having a situation where there's, you know, you're having the issue with the combination of the medicines and the alcohol you're taking, combined with, you know, some really stressful emotional times, right? And if there's something that we need to talk about, I want to get it out so that I can understand how we got to a point, why we got to a point, right? And,
All I can say is I didn't do it, and that's as much as I'm gonna say anymore. I can't speculate. I can try
I don't want you to
cooperate
speculate. I don't want you to
in
speculate.
any way I can, but I
think you've been very
I
cooperative
didn't
and
do
very
it.
helpful with us.
So, right now, I need my family.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that. So we'll go out here and see if I can't call somebody for you, right? We'll kind of decide what's next, okay? But, and honestly, when we walk out of here, if you still want to talk to me, I'd like to talk to you, right? So these, you know, it doesn't end here. Do you want some more water?
No, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Sure, I can get you some more.
It's okay.
You know, it's getting to be,
Force.
it's getting to be a little, you know, later on in the day. Are you hungry at all? I can go get you a candy bar, or I'll send somebody out to get you some food.
I don't have an appetite.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Well, sit tight for a minute. You ever seen this guy?
Seen that one. This one?
Yeah.
It looks similar to Chris's gun.
Okay, have you ever fired that gun?
I fired all of our guns pretty much.
Okay. But have you fired that one?
I fired it before. We shoot with them at mom and
Okay.
dad sometimes.
When would have been the last time?
Oh gosh, been a while.
Does he clean his guns after he shoots them?
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
He takes care of that. And I don't. Like, he has a little kit and everything that he cleans
Okay,
and stuff with, but I don't know how to take anything apart and clean it.
okay, all right. But that looks like his gun?
It looks, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it didn't-
It looks similar.
It didn't have a little hammer there?
It looks similar.
Okay. Is there any reason that your DNA would be on this gun that was on the floor?
Only when I fired it.
Okay, but it's been a while, right?
At least a week or two, maybe.
When?
Maybe a week or two.
A week or two ago? Was that up at your mom and dad's house?
That should have been at mom and dad. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Would you be okay with me taking some DNA from you, just so I can have it to compare to what's ever in the house?
Sure.
All you gotta do is rub a Q-tip in your mouth.
It's fine.
You okay with that? Could be. So here's where I'm at. All right. There's a big gap of time in your story. During that gap of time, your husband is killed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are
I know
having
how bad that looks,
you guys are having some issues,
which that's been going on forever.
right?
I mean, teeter
Right, but
totter.
you gotta-
Bad
Right.
times.
You got to put yourself in my position.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I already know how it looks.
Right, so, these are obvious questions, and I want to understand if you're involved in this, what happened, okay?
What I want to say is, I don't know if it's roped off, if you guys can look, because number one, I need to get my medicine, but I don't really want to go in there.
Right,
But if I can see if, did I take the bottle of Valium? Is it on the counter? Is it on the outside in the garage? When did I take it?
what would that matter? Tell me
Because
why that's
why I
important.
wouldn't remember, because I drink alcohol with it. So, in my mind, if I would go upstairs and see Rachel, his other daughter's bed, look like it's been slept in,
Mm-hmm,
then I know that's where I'd slept. I'd either slept there or on the basement.
well, every bed in the house looks like it's been slept in,
Oh,
So-
definitely my daughter's. She don't ever make hers.
right?
But
So, do you think there's a chance that you could have done this and
No
not be
blackouts.
aware of it?
no.
All right, because,
And the only time I black out is when I'm usually going to sleep blacked out, and it's because I drink so much,
Mhm.
or me and him went out and drank too much and went, overboard.
but the
And
combination of the medicine.
like the next day and all that stuff, he'll say, "What? You don't remember that from last night?" I'm like, "Sorry, alcohol does that to me." And,
So
and he knows
you've
I
had-
didn't do anything wrong.
Right, but you've had blackouts in the
Yeah,
past.
if I drink too much, but I'm not doing anything wrong. I just don't remember, you remember dancing over there doing that? And I'm like, no.
Okay,
Or, I told you, or whatever the story is, I'll be like, nope. But then I might get my memory fresh on down the road, or he'll be like, good thing I took a picture, So, because he knows I do that when I drink. And I don't even have to drink that much to be like, did we have sex last night? And
Right.
you know what I mean? And he'll be
Right.
like, how could you not know? And I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have been messing with me while I was that drunk. And then,
Right.
he'd be like, well, you said yes. And I said,
well, so here's the thing I don't want to happen, okay? I don't want to, because, I've taken your clothes.
huh?
I've taken your clothes,
Mhm.
all right, and I've swabbed your hands, and I've taken your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want those clothes to come back with blood spray on them. I don't want your DNA to come back on that gun, all right, and I don't want gunshot
Couldn't it possibly
residue.
still be on there anyway? By firearms?
Well, if he cleans them,
Yeah, I don't know. I've never watched him clean them,
well, it's,
but
it's.
so I don't know how it
it's-
cleans.
Okay,
But
listen to me,
I'm listening.
all right? Gunshot residue goes away pretty quick on your hands,
That I don't know nothing about.
all right? So what I don't want is to have all those things come back and say, hey, detective, this is what really happened, okay?
Okay.
And those things are gonna come back.
Right.
It's
I
just a
understand
question
that.
of, we're shipping them off to the lab, and we're gonna have them all tested,
I understand.
all right? And those could be detrimental to you if those don't come back in your favor. So, what I'm asking you to do is search your mind, all right? Because right now, I don't understand this.
I don't either.
Okay, and I really want to understand it, and if there's a piece of this puzzle I don't know about, then I need to understand the why right? Because the what is done. The decision's been made, we can't take it back,
Don't make me think about it.
right? But the why is my concern, okay? And I can understand a lot of reasons for why somebody would take another human's life.
I would, even on a blackout alcohol, I'm laughy, cheery. I mean, sometimes it's mood hits you and somebody's arguing about something,
Right.
but that could be just me and my daughter, we're arguing already,
Right,
you know, but like I don't physically abuse anybody or hurt another human being, you know, it's completely against my nature,
sure.
so.
Well, I'm just, like I said, I'm putting my cards on the table and trying to figure this out. And I'm trying to find some explanation for what has happened today. All right. Are you right or left-handed?
Am I right or left?
Yeah, handed. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me go talk to my boss, and we'll see about getting some things in motion. And are you sure you don't want any food or anything?
Depends on how long you're keeping me here.
Well, I don't have an answer for you yet. So, well, like I said, you've got bosses you got to report to, I got bosses I got to report to, so
And I got a family that needs me, and if they're not talking, it's because they're probably so stressed right now.
right. No, I understand.
And, you know, they love me just as much as I did.
I understand that. Your family comes first. You know, and that's the thing. If, you know, you're not in a safe place and you need to get to the safe place and you're not able to do that, that's something that I can understand.
Right.
All right. And especially if you're, you know, sounds like you may be having some problems, you know, with alcohol and the drugs right now that probably need to be addressed. And those don't help you always make really good decisions.
Right.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to figure out what would be circumstances in here that would, you know, cause me to go, why would this, you know, normally put together, you know, professional woman just make such a critical mistake? But you know what, we all make mistakes in our lives, and we try to,
Well, this is not one of them.
we try to move forward from them. So I know that's something you've probably taught your children growing up. You know, it's not about the mistake, it's about, you know, the content of your character is how you move forward. All right, so let me see what I need to do. If you need something, you can always just knock on the door. There's an officer out here too.
Okay.
So you can hit the button too, but knocking on the door actually gets you.
At
We'll
what
get
point
somebody here
will I
quicker.
get my phone back so that way they know?
Well, your phone's not working, is it?
Well, it will when I charge
All right.
it.
Well, I'm gonna hold on to your phone for now. All right, there are a lot of things I gotta run through the
I understand that part, but I'm like,
process. So,
I'm not supposed to tell them anything.
well, we'll try to make arrangements for that. So, hang on just a second. Like I said, let me go talk to some people who make more money than me, and we'll see what the next step is. Okay.
Okay.
During the interview, Holli Osborn claimed she could not remember most of the night's events, attributing her memory loss to heavy use of prescription drugs and alcohol. However, she did admit to ongoing marital issues with Dr. Christopher Osborn, describing their relationship as strained. Holli consented to a gunshot residue, or GSR test, with samples collected from both hands and both eyebrows. Investigators also collected her clothing and obtained samples of her DNA for further analysis. In the days that followed, while awaiting the results of the GSR and DNA tests, officers conducted interviews with Dr. Osborn's family, friends, and colleagues. Several witnesses painted a troubling picture of Dr. Osborn's personal life. Family members revealed that he had been deeply depressed about his home situation and expressed a desire to end his relationship with Holli. They noticed that Dr. Osborn's physical appearance had declined in recent months, which they attributed to the emotional toll of his circumstances. One of Dr. Osborn's assistants told police that he had confided in her about Holli's excessive drinking and violent behavior. According to the assistant, Holli would often become confrontational, getting in Dr. Osborn's face, pushing him, and creating a volatile environment at home. Once the interviews were completed and the results of the gunshot residue and DNA tests were returned, officers brought Holli in for a second interview to confront her with the evidence gathered.
We don't need to be talking about everybody's business back here. Go ahead and have a seat. You've got this.
Yep, I got it over here.
So Holli, you're free to go wherever you want. This door opens just like that. You want to go out, go to the bathroom, it's out in the lobby. If you want to go out and smoke a cigarette, it's outside. Just don't smoke in here.
Yeah.
Because I quit a long time ago and it still smells really good.
Oh.
There are some things I want to talk to you about. We've talked to a lot of people. We've gotten some test results back. So, I've been through everybody's phones. All right. Who's Meg to you?
Meg?
Yeah.
She is one of Chris's patients at work that I've been taking care of the last, I don't know, few months at least. We got close because she had issues.
Yeah, I talked to her. She sounds like a mess.
She is. I love her. Yeah, she is. But she's very, very sweet. And so yes, I did talk to Meg.
You guys texted back and forth about
Yes.
Chris's little
Yes.
mess up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When was the last time you saw her?
Oh my. Maybe it's been a month, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Before I
Was
gave
it
her
like
IV and
at the
stuff.
office or?
I gave her IV and stuff at the office. And so I'm thinking maybe a month. And then I know she went to Cleveland Clinic, but I can't really remember her dates that she had to go.
Okay.
But yeah.
What happened a week before Chris went out with BJ? Something happened with Andy?
Andy?
Yeah.
Andy.
Sounded like you guys may have all went out together, you and Chris and someone named Andy.
I'm trying to think. Andy. Why does it not sound familiar?
Did you guys go out to dinner the week previous? Because there was
No, they don't.
Did you go up to Gehenna at the barn? Because I saw a reservation for 2 at the barn in Gehenna.
Oh, no, we didn't go. No, we didn't go that night, because I remember we were going to, but I think he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, because the reservation was only for 2.
Yeah.
So you don't remember going out with somebody named Andy or going out with another couple the week before that?
I'm thinking. Before it. Trying to think of the last time we went out to eat with somebody. This comes from drinking too much when you go out to eat or anywhere. Why is that not? It's not clicking. I'm trying to picture places we've been to eat. And the last time we went with anybody.
Because, he's only really got 1 day a week he can do stuff, right?
Yeah, 'cause he works 6.
So, but, I don't, if I had gotten off at 5 o'clock and I lived in Dublin, I'm not sure I would, on a Friday night, truck it all the way to the barn, because that's a haul.
Yeah, no, so I know we didn't go to the barn.
Okay,
I know that, because I remember him having that reservation,
okay.
and I remember looking at the menu on the website and stuff, and then he seemed exhausted, and he said he really didn't feel like up to doing it. I remember him saying that.
You guys did have a disagreement that week?
Oh, we have disagreements all the time.
Because the story I heard about, kind of through the grapevine, was that you never laughed that hard when just you and me are out together.
Do what?
You never laughed that hard when just you and Chris were out together, only when you were out with this Andy. Does that ring any bells?
Like if he's, like if Chris is out with like a buddy,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, he doesn't laugh that hard. He laughs hard with buddies. So that makes sense. But why do I not understand where this Andy?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking, so.
I just don't recall. Andy.
It's not one of his usual
It's-
buddies.
Yeah, it's just not clicking at all.
Okay. Is that the text you were talking about, sending to BJ's wife?
Yes.
And I think you're right, I think it went to the wrong number.
Did it?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Did you try to serve her up recently, like in June? You trying to,
Oh,
Get it
we've
together.
been going back and forth with it. Yeah.
Okay, did
But then
you-
we'd always go out more.
yeah, that's what I heard, is he wasn't real good about
He was a little bit
respecting your
angry.
sobriety.
Yeah, seemed like he kind of fed the monster a little bit.
Yeah, and I never wanted him to feel like he couldn't go out and have fun because he has to worry about me drinking water and all that stuff. So that was a stressor on us, for sure.
Well, it seems like that may have happened several times,
With the drinking,
where he kind of, enabling's a good word, you know, because, I mean,
it's not done like it's enabling, because it's, most of the time, it's not done with intention, you know?
well, but it's still not the,
Right,
I mean,
but,
that's, enabling, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to, you know, hurt somebody, but it certainly doesn't help make things any better,
right,
so.
Not doing the things where he needs to be responsible and trying to help you when he needs to help you.
Do you remember calling Deanna the Tuesday before, leaving her voicemail?
no, I don't.
Because you left her a voicemail that said, "I'm no longer with Chris."
The week before?
No, the day before,
Oh, the day before.
yeah.
I don't remember calling her.
Because it's clearly your voice,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And you would have had to unblock her from that family protection thing to call her, right? Because that's a block number,
Who's the block number?
Deanna's.
I never had her blocked.
She's not blocked?
I never had her blocked, I don't think.
Because I'm still waiting on, like I said, some records to come back, but,
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever had her blocked.
okay. Tell me about that.
That was about me.
You posted that on your Instagram account after you and Chris came back from your meeting on the river?
That was about me.
Tell us about that.
Huh?
Tell me about that.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you say it's about you.
It's like one of those things where it's like you just, when you scan through everything and you look at stuff on the internet, you kind of like, you know, you go back and forth and you like sympathize with what other people are going through. Like kind of like if I'm looking at lupus.org, you read about this and that, and this one just happened to touch home with me because I was thinking like, if we didn't make it work and I'm gone, then that was kind of like what that was. Yeah.
Do you remember sending those texts to Courtney?
Ooh. I don't remember it, but some of it makes sense.
Why did you
The
call
alcohol.
her at 2:23 in the
The
morning?
alcohol. I don't know. Because I didn't even know I did. Did I talk to her?
Or what
Then
you-
I don't remember really this either.
Yeah.
But then again, it wasn't uncommon for me to send those messages when I'm drinking, because I usually get depressed and sad when I drink too much, and then I sit there and be lonely. Yeah.
Alcohol's a depressant.
Yep. So yeah. So I mean, this is not the first time they've heard this stuff over the last couple of years. But yeah.
So did you say this is you feeling sad and down at that point? Are you feeling sad and down?
Well, obviously, because I was sitting there drinking. But I already knew we were drinking anyways because we were talking. So yeah, so.
Had you been drinking when you came in that day?
When I came in?
Mm-hmm. Because you came in kind of late, though.
Earlier in the day.
When the girls were there.
Yeah, because they had just had dinner. And that I know.
How'd you get down there? Did your dad bring you down?
Huh?
Did your dad bring you down?
No. I came down to talk to him and get some more stuff, but I didn't actually leave that way, so I stayed.
Okay.
But yeah. She can probably, any of my family members can probably attest to they're used to getting this kind of stuff sometimes. Yeah. So it was kind of like trying to get the will to leave, stuff like that.
Well, it looked like you were telling everybody you had the will to leave because you had told Deanna that you were leaving.
I don't remember.
You told Meg that you were leaving.
And Meg, yeah, I remember talking to Meg.
You're going back and forth with everybody. Your dad said you were talking about divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When you were telling me when you found him, the door was cracked to the bedroom?
That's what I remember, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put my cards on the table. All right? Because I have the gunshot residue test back. I have the DNA test back.
Okay.
All right? Your DNA is the only DNA on that gun. Chris's DNA is not on that gun. The gunshot residue.
Impossible.
The gunshot residue, all right, was at a level that was so high they reached their maximum testing. All right, and when people break into a house and they shoot somebody on their way out, they don't close the bedroom door, just to a crack. So
I
Holly,
understand
listen to
what
me.
you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is I know you shot Chris.
I did not shoot him.
Holly,
I did not shoot him.
this is what I think happened.
No.
All right, because of the way everything's set up, you are posting stuff that makes me think that
That is
here you
nothing.
go again.
We could pull them all over again. This is not making me a killer.
Holly, stop. All right, you have multiple suicide attempts in the past.
Yeah, for
Right.
myself.
So
I would never hurt him, no.
so here's what I think happened. All right, because when you shot him,
I did not
you
shoot
didn't
him.
kill him.
I did not
All right,
shoot
those
him.
gunshot wounds did not kill
I
him.
did not shoot him.
All right, I think you were going to after you killed him because this had gone too far. You were getting ready to lose everything.
Never take anybody with me.
And here we go, you shoot him, because there's no other explanation for this, Holly. There is no other
I don't
explanation
have
for it.
any explanations. I already gave you everything I know, and I did not do
There's
this.
no other explanation for it, Holly. Nobody just breaks into your house and randomly shoots somebody. BJ did not owe him $20,000.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what.
I'm telling you that for 27 years I've been doing this job, okay? And nothing else shows me that anybody else did this but you. All right? I know you did this.
I did not.
And I can understand the why behind it.
No, there is
but-
no why, because I didn't do it.
Holly, the evidence doesn't lie.
No, I did not do it.
The evidence does not lie.
Then how would I sit there and end up with bruises and everything else and with no memory? Explain that one.
How did you explain it to me?
I can't.
You
I don't know.
guys had rough sex the Saturday night beforehand, and you get bruises all the time. People tell me that you go down. People tell me you go down the stairs periodically in your alcoholic blackouts.
What do you mean go down the stairs?
You fall.
I do not sit there and fall everywhere, and if I fell on
You're
stairs,
telling
I
me
did.
that he hit you then, because up until now, You never said anything
I'm
about
done, I
that.
want a lawyer.
That's fine. You're free to go. That door will put you right up to the lobby.
With Holli Osborn unwilling to speak further without a lawyer, detectives presented the evidence they had gathered to a grand jury. In April 2019, the grand jury returned an indictment charging Holli Osborn with 2 counts of murder. During the trial, prosecutors portrayed Holli as a jealous wife with a history of alcohol abuse, frustrated by her husband's infidelity. Senior Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Daniel Leonard described the brutal nature of the crime, telling jurors, "This person walked up to a sleeping man, pointed the muzzle 6 to 8 inches away from his head, and shoots him right in the face." The defense centered their case on what they argued was a failure by the prosecution to eliminate reasonable doubt. Defense attorney Kevin Gall presented alternative explanations, questioning investigators' handling of evidence and challenging the strength of the prosecution's case. "There's no proof. There's no tangible proof," Gall argued in court. Authorities testified that Holli's DNA was found on the gun used in the shooting and that gunshot residue was discovered on her body. Holli's attorneys attempted to suppress the results of the gunshot residue test and her statements to the police, claiming her level of intoxication during questioning rendered them inadmissible. However, the judge denied their motion, allowing the evidence to be presented at trial. The jury ultimately found Holli Osborn guilty on all charges related to the shooting death of her husband, Dr. Christopher Osborn. She was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. In 2024, Holli Osborn appealed her conviction, asserting that her Fourth Amendment rights were violated by warrantless searches and arguing that her conviction was contrary to the manifest weight of the evidence. However, a 10th District Appellate Panel upheld her conviction, rejecting her claims and reaffirming the jury's verdict. Dr. Christopher Osborn, who was just 50 years old at the time of his death, left behind 2 daughters, 1 son, and a family who deeply loved him. As a respected physician, Chris saved countless lives and brought comfort to those in pain. Beyond his work, he was a man who enjoyed life to the fullest, cooking great food, riding his motorcycle, listening to music, watching the Ohio State Buckeyes, playing golf with friends, and most importantly, spending cherished time with his 3 children. His loss is felt not only by his family, but by the many lives he touched as a father, friend, and healer.